All right, guys, there's a lot to talk about right now in the world of professional wrestling. Let me start off with TNA, the six-sided ring. Hulk Hogan actually scrapped the six-sided ring. I'm not sure if this was solely his decision, but if it was, I think it was very egotistical on his part, and my heart goes out to the TNA fans that are pissed off about this, because, you know, the six-sided ring, TNA was really synonymous, or the six-sided ring was synonymous with TNA is what I'm trying to say. It became, you know, a part of what makes the company different. So I could understand people that are pissed off about it. I know Instant Classic 8 is pissed off and really egotistical on Hogan's part if it was solely his decision. As far as the TNA product goes over the last couple weeks, it's kind of funny. I mean, obviously it's more exciting because you're seeing guys interact with each other. You're seeing a lot of shock booking, and I mean, it's been all right. But at the same time, you know, long term, you got to wonder about what's going to happen in the long term. You know, Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels not even used on the show. It's really, you know, tough to swallow. I think it's a shame that a guy like Christopher Daniels is being wasted, because I'm actually predicting that he'll be back in ROH by the end of 2010. I think they could definitely use him. I think something has to happen. I think eventually we're going to see someone at least jump this year from one promotion to another, and I think Christopher Daniels is a perfect candidate for that. So, yeah, Samoa Joe, he has a title shot at the next pay-per-view, but he's not even used on the show. That's kind of confusing to me, but there were some things that I liked, though. I did not like the Angle AJ finish, but I liked the confrontation between Angle and Hogan. I thought it felt real. I thought it came off really good. I think the six-sided ring decision kind of backfired on Hogan, because Angle had a lot of support after he spit in Hogan's face. It was really good stuff. It felt like a work shoot to me. And I thought AJ, it was really fun to see AJ and Ric Flair interact. I'm glad that Flair is a heel now. I definitely think he needed to change. So that's my thoughts on TNA. So yeah, there's a lot I want to talk about. Obviously, the biggest thing that's going to happen tonight is the Dragon Gate pay-per-view. It's called Freedom Fight. I recommend everyone to go check this out, because it's supposed to be a great pay-per-view. Possibly the weakest Dragon Gate pay-per-view yet, but still, this is going to be at least like an 8.5, 8.75. Dave Meltzer actually got an advanced screening of the show. There's actually 2 4.5-star matches in his opinion, and the live reports for the show were actually pretty good. Yeah, so the first must-see match is actually Masato Yoshino teaming up with Naruki Doi to face Shingo and Dragon Kid. These are probably the top 4 of the top Dragon Gate talents, and this is just going to be a vintage Dragon Gate match, tag team wrestling. It's going to be really good stuff, so definitely check that out. And then David Richards versus Yamato supposedly is about 4.5 stars as well, so another great David Richards match. I don't see how you can go wrong with this pay-per-view. I think it'll be about $20, and I know some people were actually pissed off about the booking direction of it. I heard there was an angle that they tried to do which came off pretty bad, and I guess whoever Gabe, I know who won it, you know, I don't want to spoil it, but whoever Gabe booked to win this thing, people were really pissed off that he actually won it. So, you know, I mean, there is some mixed feelings about this show, but guaranteed you are going to get some great wrestling, so definitely check it out. That's Dragon Gate's Freedom Fight. Alright, so as far as the next big thing that's happening, PWG and ROH are actually going to be kind of co-promoting shows out on the West Coast. You're going to have ROH talent on the PWG show, and then you have PWG talent on the ROH show. Rob Van Dam is actually going to be on the PWG show. I'm not sure who he's fighting. I think the name of the show is called Kurt WrestleMania. I'm not sure about that. I haven't looked too much into it, but as far as the ROH stuff goes, I think the ROH show will be a lot better this time on the West Coast. The last time they were on the West Coast, they went to San Francisco. Remember the Chaos at the Cow Palace show? I don't think they drew a lot of people for that show, and there's some kind of scuffle that went on behind the scenes, so that was not really a success for ROH. But here I have a better feeling about this. I think PWG will help them out with the promotion for the show, so this should come off really well. You're going to get Austin Aries facing Jushin Thunder Liger in a dream match. I think this will be really interesting to see. It might not be great, but it'll at least be a fun match. You're going to get Yumi Tornado facing Kevin Steen in a grudge match. And then you have the Briscoes and the Young Bucks teaming up to face the American Wolves and the Kings of Wrestling. Yeah, it just looks like a pretty fun show. It doesn't look like it'll be amazing, but I think it'll be a very nice return out to the West Coast for ROH. And now the other thing that's going to happen is the 8th anniversary show. This is coming up a lot sooner than I think people realized. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be on Go Fight Live. It's not going to be airing on the internet, which is unfortunate because the anniversary shows are usually pretty much one of the top 5 shows of the year for ROH. But you know, this New York City is getting another show, and I know a lot of people are pissed off about this. But in this situation, I think it works because, you know, it gives them a chance to really redeem themselves with the whole Aries and Black situation. And I think Aries and Black put on a classic match. I think this would be really good. I think, you know, they implemented judges into the match. We're going to get 3 judges. We're going to get we're going to get Roderick Strong, Jim Cornette, and Kenny King. So, yeah, I think this will be pretty difficult to book because I don't see them going an hour. I think they'll swerve the fans. The fans will probably be expecting this hour-long match. They'll probably be pissed off about it going into it. But, you know, once the match starts, I think the fans will really be into this match. If Aries and Black just go hard, I think they will put on the classic match that everyone thinks that they can. And the aftermath will be very interesting to see how they book it. I think it'll be tough to book it. The aftermath, I'm not really sure what they could do if it doesn't go to a draw. But the one thing I do see coming out of it, I don't see Tyler Black winning the belt here. But I do see Black actually, you know, turning heel. I think him and Roderick Strong will come out of this whole situation feuding with each other, and that will lead up to a match between those 2 guys. So yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I can see coming out of it. I think Aries needs to retain. I think Austin Aries and Davey Richards need to follow up on their match. So I think just giving Tyler Black the belt right now, I think it would be extremely pointless. You know, maybe he can win it from Davey Richards over the summertime. There's a whole bunch of things you can do right now. I like the title scene in ROH. I think you have 4 or 5 guys in the mix right now that could really, you know, put on great matches. So some other stuff from the 8th anniversary show. We'll get Roderick Strong versus Brian Kendrick. I know a lot of people aren't high on Brian Kendrick right now, but I say we'll just give him a chance. I think Roderick will definitely go over here. I don't think that'll be a surprise to anyone. Briscoes versus Kings of Wrestling. I think that match will probably take place in the 8th anniversary show. It should be pretty good. And then we get Davey Richards versus El Generico on that show as well. So yeah, I think this would be amazing. We haven't got to see a Davey Richards match in New York City since Final Battle 2007 when he faced Marufuji. So I'm really excited that he's actually having a singles match. And El Generico is a perfect guy for him to wrestle. These two could put on at least a 4, maybe even a 4.5-star match. It could be that good. Now, as far as Davey Richards and his title situation is concerned, probably he's not going to get a shot at Supercard of Honor 5. Supposedly he's booked for the Dragon Gate show. I heard that he might be able to work the Dragon Gate show and then work the ROH show, but I'm not really sure what's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, probably, you know, they'll probably delay the Davey Richards title win until the summertime. But it definitely should happen soon. I think he's hot right now. They don't want to make the same mistake that they made with Tyler Black. So eventually, I think they got to do an Austin Aries Davey Richards match at least by April or May. I think it definitely has to happen. All right, so the final thing I want to talk about is Wrestlekingdom 4. It was actually uploaded by the Real Robert. I saw some of the matches on the show. I didn't see everything, but the guy that uploaded it, his name is the Real Robert. So definitely check it out. Out of all the matches, yeah, I think the Tanahashi Go Shiozaki match actually stole the show. There's some really nice counters to the Shiozaki's Gold Flasher. So I really enjoyed that. I got to see the Marufuji versus Tiger Mask 4 match. It was like 3.5 stars. It was decent. Then I saw the Segura versus Haruki Goto match. Segura is actually the GHC heavyweight champion right now, and I thought that was it was solid. I wouldn't say it was great, but definitely check out the show. There's some other matches that I didn't even talk about that are on there. It definitely looks like a great show. And the last thing I'll talk about is the Super J Cup. I know this is kind of old. I know most of you guys already know about this. But I figured I'd just plug it because there's not really a lot of buzz about it. Now Michi Marufuji actually won the Super J Cup, and in the finals he faced Prince DeVitt of Apollo 55, and I think it's a must-see match. It's a match you need to go out of your way to see. So definitely check it out. Marufuji actually had a match against Jushin Thunder Liger. It wasn't great. It was okay. And I didn't see the other match. He had a match against the other Apollo 55 member as well. So Super J Cup, check it out. Looks like The Rock might return to WWE over the summertime. So we'll see what happens there. And take it easy.